Hi guys, it's Emily from Australian Frugal here, back with another video. So because we were stuck at home at the start of our challenge and I couldn't go to the shops and do our big shop, I figured I would record what I did do and what I used at home, and I'll show you that now. Don't forget, if you like this kind of content, you can let me know by hitting that little like button and let me know in the comments what else you want to see, what you like, what you don't like, all of that. Always happy for some feedback. Also, don't forget to click that little subscribe button and that notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. And I will catch you guys in the next one. So I dug into the freezer to see what we had, and I defrosted these 3 chickens I got for $10 from our local butchers. Just covered them in some paprika, salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of oil, and slow cooked them at 180 for about, I don't know, 2 hours maybe, until they smelled good and they looked good. Got them all out, let them cool down enough that I wouldn't die handling them. Got myself and my big boy, who was home early from school, some lunch, shredded up the rest to be used in future meals, and put my stock on for the rest of the day in this big pot right here. I love my ceramic tray. I got it super cheap from, I think, Coles or Woolies. Real happy. Here's my lunch. So I stopped and had this, pumped, fed the baby, did all of that fun stuff, but I wanted to have all of this pre-cooked to use for the whole month, but especially for the next couple of days. Just my little salad there with some leftover capsicum and some tomato. You can see the mess that I made shredding these chickens. This is my big bowl. You can see how much I got here. So much chicken. I ended up doing 2 really big bags full, and then I used maybe a quarter of that bowl for the dinner that night. This is the stock that I made after about 4 or 5 hours. I could have kept it going, made more, made it darker, but I like it like that. So for tonight we have stuffed capsicums. So I've cut up 4 capsicums in half and taken the insides out. I'm going to do some sweet potato wedges, which I'm about to put some oil on and season with some salt. So for tonight's dinner, I'm going to do some stuffed capsicums. I've got 4 of them cut in half here, ready to go, all cleaned, inside scooped out, ready to go. I'm going to do 2 sweet potatoes cut into wedges. I'm about to season with some olive oil, salt, pepper, and throw them into the oven. I have some of my chicken ready to go. I'm probably only going to use maybe 1/3 of this. And I have a cup of rice on in the rice cooker. Really simple. I just threw the onions on to caramelize, threw the chicken in to heat through some bacon in until it was a bit golden brown, threw some eggs in, quickly stir-fried those through there, threw in some rice, some soy sauce, some salt, pepper, maybe a cup worth of corn, and there's a quick basic kind of fried rice to stuff my capsicums with. This is always a huge hit in my house, topped with cheese and maybe a bit of parsley. So good. You can see it finished off here right before I start stuffing my capsicums. Super simple meal. There are kids running around everywhere, squealing and screaming and playing, all stuck inside with the rain. So this was nice and warm and filling, and a good way to get them to eat veggies. Even hubby likes this, and he's very, very picky. Threw these on a tray and then into the oven at about 180 until they were golden brown and melted on top. And this is what I had left. I ended up just having this for a midnight snack later while I was pumping. Alright, so here is tonight's dinner. That is 4 capsicum cut in half, a quick fried rice with onion, bacon, chicken, some soy sauce, 2 eggs, a little bit of oil, and about half a cup of rice, all mixed up with a bit of salt and white pepper. Some sweet potato wedges done with some garlic powder, salt, and some rosemary. and a salad on the side, and some cheese and parsley on top. Next up, we have a chorizo pasta meal I made with some cream I had in the fridge and just a few substitutions and bits and pieces, and more of those capsicums that I have still to use. I have my minced garlic, I have a bottle of thickened cream for my sauce, I have some sad looking tomatoes, some onions, some green onions, and I have my, I'll only use half of that, but that's fine. So that's all my ingredients. Oh, and I'm going to use a chicken stock, which I need to get out of the freezer. I can use stock cubes for my sauce as well. So stay tuned for that. So half of this was $7.26, so half would be $3.63, I think, for that. These were 99 cents a kilo. These came in a clearance box. They were basically nothing. These were 2 for $3, so $1.50 for the whole bunch. I'm only going to use a couple of bits of that. This was, I think, $6 something at Aldi. I'm going to use a tiny bit of that. Half of this, I think this was about $3 something, and my $3.50 for my pasta. So I will do a breakdown. So I cooked my chorizo sausages just in a tiny little bit of oil. They release fat when they cook and they go all crispy and golden brown and delicious. You'll know when they're done. Maybe like 2 minutes stirring. Then I took them out, so they're sitting on a container on my counter. Then I threw in my red onions and caramelized those in the fat from the chorizo sausages until they were caramelized and soft and slightly translucent. Then I've chopped up a red capsicum and 2 small yellow capsicums to get them out of the fridge. Thrown them in here with about a tablespoon of garlic. Use more. Nobody should tell you how much garlic to use. We love garlic. I also threw in 2 pinches of oregano because it just sounded good to me when I was over at the spice rack. And now I'm cooking these off. They're soft. I'm going to add my pasta in, stir that through for a second, get it all coated. Added my chicken stock, which you can hear defrosting in the microwave. And I'm probably going to add a tin of tomatoes. Hubby doesn't like tomatoes, so usually I would skip that, but I want this to go a little further, so I'm going to throw a tin of tomatoes in with the cream and the chicken stock and everything else. You shouldn't be able to taste the tomatoes too much. So here we go. Alright, so here it is, my chorizo pasta dinner. I set that mixture on to simmer for 10 minutes so the pasta could cook. Then I came back, added about 1/3 of a thing of cream, which would be about 200 mils or so. A big handful of the cheese mix that I had, which would be maybe a cup and a half of cheese. And I just stirred that through, put the chorizo back in, mixed that through, gave it a minute for the cheese to melt and the chorizo to warm back up. Then I've stuck it in bowls, thrown some shallots on top and a pinch of parsley for a bit of herby freshness. And I have a huge pot of this stuff for when hubby gets home and for seconds and leftovers, though I very much doubt there will be any leftovers of this dish. This was 3 small red onions, 2 small yellow capsicums, a red capsicum, 2 sticks of chorizo, a packet of gluten-free pasta, 200 mils of cream, some homemade chicken stock, a handful of cheese, some salt, some pepper, some oregano, garlic, all whipped up into a delicious, cheap meal that the kids love. I've got one hanging at the edge of the counter waiting for me to finish so that they can eat it. This night I was running out of time. I was also making baby food and I had a giant pumpkin I cut up. So I just did some roast pumpkin, small sweet potato chips, that shredded chicken, and veggies. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with somebody else who might like this kind of thing. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!